Do you like my dolphin?
Your dolphin is so pretty. Do you like my starfish?
It looks like a blob. Sorry.
No, I'm not very good at drawing. I'll get better eventually.
What is here?
That means it's time for us to start the show.
Hello, everybody. Do you want to see what is delivered for us today?
You should, because I sent you something very special this week.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. Hello, Walter. How are you today? Can't wait to see what I sent.
Hi, Walter. Was it a long trip here?
That sounds like such a long way, especially to carry the thing I sent. It's a little bit heavy. Let's take a look and see.
It's a really cool puzzle piece.
Yep, this is the craft. Pretty special. We'll do that later.
Gross.
Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. It has something to do with my preach for today, but we're going to find out about that a little later on. So how about we get the craft ready to do, and while we do that, you guys can go check out the first part of this week's preach. Okay, so today the mystery item that I sent Isla was a glass jar filled with dirt. It's a bit of a weird gift, but it's going to make sense a little later on. But first, I want you to think about a time when you were spending time playing with your best friend. Maybe you were playing a board game, or you were playing sport. Maybe you were doing a coloring or a craft together, but you were doing it with your best friend. I have so many amazing memories of growing up when I was younger, spending time with my friends. Even now, some nights of the week, I'll jump in my car and I'll drive to my friends and we'll play a board game together. Because here's what I realized, I enjoy living my life when I get to do it with the people that I care about. At Christmas, we hopped in our car and we drove to visit our family because we wanted to go and spend time with the people that we care about. You see, in the Bible, when God created us, when he created you, when he created me, he didn't make us to be alone, for us to be off on our own with no friends. He made us to want to have friends, to have people in our lives who care about us and that we care for them, so that we can look after people when they need help and that they can look after us when we need help. Maybe when you're having a bad day, you can encourage your friend. I remember once I was at school and I was doing a craft and it was really difficult. It was called origami, and so it's when you fold paper into different shapes. But I kept getting stuck in one part of the instructions and I couldn't figure out what to do. And I went through 3 or 4 different pieces of paper. I couldn't solve it. I started getting really frustrated. But then my best friend came over and sat with me and started helping me and showing me what I was doing wrong. And after a couple of minutes, my friend had helped me to successfully create a small paper bird. And you see, that's actually the way that God made us, to want to have friends and family, people that we care about that can help each other. And so a little later on, we're actually going to go back and look at the end of the creation story that we started last week. And we're going to look at the moment that God made Adam and when he made Eve as well. And we're going to learn that we're not meant to be alone, but we're better together. But we'll talk about that in just a minute. Isla, are you ready for this week's craft?
I am. What about everyone watching?
I hope so, because here's what we're doing. We are doing a puzzle piece.
What I did for my craft was colored the words in different colors. I drew myself in purple. I drew some stars in my favorite color, pink.
Isla, your one looks absolutely amazing.
I can't wait to see everyone else's.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing. If you're with friends and you've done it, it says better together. You can actually put them together like your friends. I know, how cool is that? But we want to see yours as well. So get your teacher or your kid's pastor or your mum or dad to send a photo of your craft through. And if you want, there's a link in the description of this video. Otherwise, your parents and teachers can get it from the website. I'm so excited to continue learning all about the story of creation in the Bible.
Buckle, can you read it for us again?
Absolutely. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He made the sun, the moon, and the stars in the sky. He made the oceans and the land. He made every plant and tree and every fruit and flower. He made the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and the animals on the land. And on the 6th day, God did something special. God made man. In the dust of the ground, he shaped and formed and created the shape of a man. And when he was ready, God breathed his own breath into the man. And Adam, the very first man, took his first breath. But God could see that Adam needed a helper. He said, "It's not good that man should be alone." So God caused every animal of the land and every bird of the air to come to Adam. And one by one, Adam named them all. But not one of them was fit to be Adam's helper. So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. And while he slept, God took one of Adam's ribs. And from that rib, God made Eve, the very first woman. God gave Adam and Eve a job. They were to look after the earth, to care for the animals of the land, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea. They were to care for it all. God also told Adam and Eve to have children so that people could fill the earth. When God made people just like you and me, He made us not to be alone, but to have relationship. I love today's Bible story because we're specifically looking at this moment when God made Adam, and Adam named all the animals, and Adam was looking after the garden, but God saw that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. He needed a friend. And so God made someone for Adam. He made Eve. You see, I believe that when God made us, you and me, we also, just like Adam, weren't meant to be made alone. We're meant to have friends and family. You see, the Bible actually says in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, it says 2 are better than 1 because they've got a good reward for their work. And if one of them falls over, the other one is there to pick them up again. But it's so sad for the person who's alone because when they fall over, there's no one there to help them. You see, we were never meant to go through life alone. We all have bad days. We all have days when things don't go the way we'd planned. Maybe you auditioned for a singing part or a dancing part, but you didn't get in. Maybe you did a sports tryout for a basketball team or a soccer team, but you didn't get in. Maybe you tried really hard on a test, but you still got it wrong. You see, we all have things happen that can make us feel sad or upset. And when we have good friends around us, they can give us a pat on the back, they can pick us back up, and they can encourage us to try again so that we never give up. I know for me, I never want to have to live my life on my own. I always want to have really good friends and family around me. And that's why it's so important for us to make good friends while we're at school or while we're at church or in sporting teams, finding good people that we can have in our lives that can keep encouraging us and to pick us up whenever we feel sad. And so that's why I sent the jar of dirt to Isla, because I wanted her to remember that God made us. He formed us with His hands. And when He made us to never be alone, but instead to remind us that we are better when we're together. Isla, guess what time it is?
What?
It's time for the Bible quiz!
Buckle, can you explain it for us?
I can. Here's how you can play along as well. We're going to ask you some questions from today's Bible story with 2 possible answers. If you think the first answer is correct, put your hands on your
head.
If you think the second answer is correct, hands on your
shoulders.
Here we go with question number 1. In the Bible story, when God made Adam, what did God use? Did He use the dirt on the ground, or did He use the clouds in the sky? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
Did He use the dirt in the ground?
That's right, so hands on head is the correct answer. Here we go with question number 2. When God saw that Adam was alone and lonely, what did He say? Did He say, Adam's fine on his own, or did He say, I should make him a helper? You've got 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
Did He say Adam needs a helper?
He did. He made him a helper, so hands on shoulders is the correct answer. And here we go with question number 3. When God made Eve, what part of Adam's body did God use? Did He use Adam's rib? Or did He use Adam's big toe? So if you think it's the rib, hands on head, big toe, hands on shoulders, we'll give you 5 seconds. Isla, what do you think the answer is?
Did He use Adam's rib?
He did. He used Adam's rib. That's correct. So hands on head is the correct answer. Well done. But Isla, guess what?
What?
It's time for today's show to finish.
That's all right. At least we have next week.
That's right, because next week we're going to be learning about the first time that people did the wrong thing and that God wants to forgive us. But my name is Buckle.
And my name is Isla.
And we'll see you next week on The Link Show.
Bye.
Bye.